All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we are diving into something absolutely wild. We're breaking down how a rookie literally shattered WNBA history in the blink of an eye. We're talking about an explosive, mathematically absurd debut by Justine Pissott, a 22-year-old guard forward for the Las Vegas Aces. It's a performance that completely set social media on fire across YouTube, Instagram, X, you name it. 19 points. That is the staggering magic number we need to focus on right out of the gate. Now, in professional basketball, dropping 19 points in a game, that's a really solid night for a starter. But Justine Pissott didn't do this in a full game. She dropped 19 points in a mere 10 minutes of game time. 10 minutes! So naturally, it begs the question, right? How on earth does a rookie shatter WNBA history in just 10 minutes? Well, it wasn't just a lucky hot streak. It was this perfect storm of opportunity meeting world-class preparation. In this explainer, we're going to look closely at the physical mechanics that make her so unguardable, the winding journey that actually brought her to Vegas, and the absolute statistical anomaly of her arrival on the pro stage. Section 1. The Ultimate Blowout Setup, July 11th, 2026. Aces versus Mercury. Because, let's be real, you don't usually see a rookie at the end of the bench get free rein to just let it fly unless the game script calls for it. And against the Phoenix Mercury, the script heavily favored the Aces. The Aces exerted pure dominance at the house. They held Phoenix to a season-low 9 points in that first quarter. The Aces actually jumped out to a 9-0 start, kicking off a massive 16-2 run where they held Phoenix to just 9.1% shooting from the floor in those first 5 minutes. Led by Aja Wilson, dropping 21 points and 15 rebounds, and Chelsea Gray adding 15 points and 11 assists, they never took their foot off the gas and never trailed for the entire game. Which brings us to this massive 48-point margin of victory. The Aces won 106-58. The lead actually ballooned to as many as 54 points at one point, which is the largest margin of victory in franchise history and tied for the third largest in WNBA history. But this blowout, it matters for our story, because a 48-point lead creates garbage time in the fourth quarter, allowing the starters to rest and giving developmental players their golden ticket to step onto the court. Section 2, a record-breaking debut, 10 minutes of fire. What happened the exact moment Justine Pissott checked into her very first regular season WNBA game wasn't just some rookie getting her feet wet. It was an absolute fireworks show. 57 seconds. Think about that. That is all it took. She wasted absolutely zero time. Less than a minute after her sneakers hit the hardwood for her official debut, she catches the ball and just drills her first WNBA three-pointer, catching fire instantly and initiating a scoring run that was so breathtaking, it was dominating social media feeds before the final buzzer even sounded. Her efficiency was completely absurd. In those 10 minutes of play, she shot an incredible 7 for 8 from the floor. And even crazier, she went 5 for 6 from three-point range. She set a WNBA record for the most threes made in a debut, showing rock-solid fundamentals even under fourth-quarter fatigue. She scored 19 points total, which, get this, was only 3 points shy of the entire Phoenix Mercury team's output for that exact same quarter. To really put this achievement into historical context, before July 11th, 2026, the WNBA standard for a single quarter point total in a rookie debut was 14 points, and that record was held by absolute legends of the game, Candace Parker and Zia Cooke. Pissott eclipsed them by 5 whole points, resetting the standard to 19. It's just a jaw-dropping entrance into professional basketball. Section 3. The winding path to Vegas, from college to the Aces. Because to truly appreciate this explosion, we gotta trace the unpredictable journey that brought her to this exact moment. She wasn't some highly touted lottery pick destined for immediate stardom. Her path was super winding. Her college career started at Tennessee, helping the team reach the Sweet 16 back in the 2022-2023 season. Then she transfers to Vanderbilt, where she really found her stroke. She contributed to a stellar 74-26 record over 3 years there, and at one point led the highly competitive SEC in three-point shooting percentage at an elite 42.2%. Even with all that, she fell to the second round of the 2026 draft, going 25th overall to the Indiana Fever. She signed a player development contract, played preseason, but ultimately left the Fever. It was literally only in early July 2026 that Vegas scooped her up on a rest-of-season development contract. A few days later, bam, she steps on the court and breaks a league record. Section 4, Mechanics of an Elite Shooter. Breaking down the 6'4" frame. So, what exactly makes this 22-year-old so incredibly unguardable out there? How did she instantly translate her game to the pro level? Well, it mostly comes down to physics. Her mechanics are practically a science experiment in creating the perfect stretch forward. You've got the sheer size of a 6'4" forward, combined with the quick, repeatable release and limitless range of an elite guard. Add in her incredibly consistent balance and lower body stability, and it means she can shoot accurately off the catch or on the move, whether she's spotting up, running in transition, or coming right off the handoff. But we really have to zero in on her defining trait, that high release point. Because of her 6'4" height and the high arc of her shot, she maximizes her vertical extension. And the result? Defenders simply cannot contest or block her shot when she's in rhythm. In college, she registered extremely low block rates on her threes, and we saw exactly why against the Mercury. Smaller WNBA guards literally cannot reach the ball when it leaves her hands. Scouting reports have constantly raved about these strong fundamentals, calling her motion an effortless flow from catch to shot. Through some serious, dedicated training, she has refined her touch and footwork. Tall shooters with this specific level of repeatability are just incredibly rare. Her form and touch actually resemble aspects of elite tall wings that she cited as inspirations, like the great Breonna Stewart. Section 5. The future of Pissott. What comes next? Look, with a debut this historic, we have to ask what areas of her game will dictate her ultimate ceiling in a league this competitive. Her shooting touch is undeniably elite, for sure. But carving out a permanent, heavy rotation role on a stacked roster like Vegas requires taking that next step. Analysts know she's going to need to improve her defensive integration and overall athleticism, because in tighter, highly contested WNBA games, being a defensive liability will keep you off the floor, which indirectly costs you those shooting reps, right? Plus, developing elite consistency off the dribble will make her way more than just a spot-up threat. And that leaves us with one truly fascinating question to wrap up this explainer. We just witnessed a 22-year-old rookie drop 19 points, shoot nearly perfect from the floor, and break long-standing records in just 10 minutes of garbage time. As she develops her defense and her off-the-dribble game, what on earth happens when this rookie finally gets starter minutes? Will any defense in the league be able to stop a 6'4" sniper who can't be blocked? That is something every basketball fan should be incredibly excited to find out. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and definitely keep your eyes on Justine Pissott.